Can you kill the lights?
All right, welcome to another episode of Kill the Lights. This is Joey D with my co-host Karl De Mesa. Today, for this episode, we're going to be talking about Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters, which should be showing by the time you hear this podcast. And we're all, of course, being very careful because of stuff we signed.
Yeah,
We're not allowed
stuff we
to
signed
talk
like
about
an embargo that they may sick Godzilla and the other monsters on us.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we
What
just
is it about,
came from
bro?
the movie house, and again, Godzilla, anything monsters.
We love it, man.
We're very much into it, so there might be a few biases, but I do have to say that I'm a little worried. I was a little worried about this movie because during the first part of the movie, I actually fell asleep.
It was very slow, to be
Despite
fair.
having popcorn and all these treats with us. But I did fall asleep. Luckily enough, I woke up at the exact
Just
time
as
when
the
it mattered.
monsters were,
Exactly. When the,
rampaging across Mexico.
but thank you very much to the kind people over at Warner Brothers for letting us get a first peek at this movie. First of all, the basics. Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters, stars Vera Farmiga as Dr. Emma Russell, Z Zhang as Dr. Chen, Charles Dance as some rich philanthropist, whatever.
A rogue
guerrilla.
agent of the Monarch Agency,
There
apparently.
you go. That's I think
Tywin
that's better.
Lannister.
And Kyle Chandler as Mark Russell,
Mhm.
and of course you have your returning character Ken Watanabe as Dr. Serizawa. Remember that guy from the first film?
Yes, let them fight. That's his
That
famous
guy.
line.
And
And of course, our favorite young girl.
yeah, Millie Bobbie Brown as Madison Russell, the daughter of Kyle Chandler and Vera Farmiga, and two new great additions. Three new great additions. Thomas Middleditch as Sam Coleman as the scientist slash representative of the Monarch Corporation. Bradley Whitford as the ever knowledgeable and wisecracking doctor, and surprisingly, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Ice Cube Jr.
Ice Cube
in the
Jr.,
house
yeah.
as a soldier.
His father also had like some really great soldier roles like in Three Kings and whatnot. So
Oh yeah. Do we consider Triple X a soldier role? Probably not, right?
but probably more like a badass role, maybe.
Role.
But yeah, so Godzilla 2 King of the Monsters, it starts off really slow
Establishing all these characters, what happened from the first
from the
movie.
first movie.
So there are three movies, right? This is the third one. The first one is Godzilla. Second one is Kong Skull Island with Sam Jackson.
And
this is the third
This is
one.
the third in the series. In the 21st century, that is. Again, the first. This takes place 5 years after the first events. When they discovered Godzilla, they couldn't figure out what he was at first. But by the end of the movie, many thanks to Ken Watanabe's character, they realized that Godzilla was on our side.
Yes, knowledgeable in all things. Muto apparently massive.
Team Human.
Team Human.
Yeah.
Mutos are apparently massive unidentified terrestrial objects like Godzilla, King Ghidora,
Exactly.
Mothra, those other cool dudes from the MonsterVerse of Japan.
Exactly. So 5 years after, Dr. Emma Russell decides that humanity is a cancer, is a plague.
Not a new concept by any means.
Exactly. And she thinks, much to her regret, she thinks that letting loose the three-headed
The Titans.
Titans would be the ultimate. She basically wants a clean slate for the entire human race.
Yeah, apparently
for the
it's
entire
like
planet.
when you have an infection, you get a fever, and the monsters are the fever.
Exactly, and they get rid of all that bacteria,
Which is
unnecessary
us.
shit, which is sadly she felt was the human race.
Yeah, not a far-fetched concept, Joey, I think.
Not a far-fetched concept at all.
Considering all the shit that is in humanity.
Oh yeah, like right after the movie, if you
Oh,
looked at the
considering that
garbage
shit,
that
like-
people left behind,
Yeah, people are actually
I'd be on
leaving
her
their
side.
shit. Like, God, man, it's a free movie. Why don't you behave like it's your house?
exactly. So
Anyway.
there you go. What happens is they let loose King Ghidorah, which is the three-headed Hydra monster.
Yeah.
Thinking that King Ghidorah would return balance and to the
Yeah, like
human, to
one
the
monster
planet.
would be enough, right?
You'd think, but then all of a sudden King Ghidorah turns out to be one badass motherfucker. is not the solution to our
No, it's
problems,
not.
and he starts wreaking havoc. So
Yeah.
ultimately, what happens is they let loose all of the monsters in the
Yeah.
multiverse,
Yeah.
including as Carl mentioned,
Mothra.
King Mothra.
Yes.
And Rodan, which is the fire demon from Mexico,
From Mexico.
which was actually pretty awesome. Looked like a
Yeah.
pterodactyl more.
Yeah.
And ultimately, of course, our hero of the day, Godzilla. Or Gojira,
Gojira.
who
in whichever part of the world you're from.
you're
Yeah.
from, and who
Also an awesome
apparently
band, brother.
is supposed to be the alpha of the species.
Yeah, until King Ghidorah is apparently awakens and he's actually
He's
actual
after the
alpha.
throne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, a lot of establishing whatever. I don't know. This is just me, but
Mm-hmm.
I felt that if you're gonna watch a Godzilla movie, you should at least know some of the mythos behind
yes.
the story. So I felt
agree.
the first part of the movie took way too long, like
Yeah.
explaining all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Why this? Why that? Why whatever? Oh, it's so bad. All that
Motivations
shit
of the
happened 5 years ago.
humans. Yeah.
Exactly. I just felt it took way too long because coming into this film, I was super excited and I
Mhm.
was like, oh my god, they finally did it. A 21st century.
They're actually going to let these monsters fight, right?
Exactly. So I was waiting for the fight.
Let's get to the
that
nitty
didn't
gritty and the
happen.
slam and bang.
So yeah, a few bites of popcorn later and a few minutes of falling asleep.
Mhm.
They finally. All I remember is the scene where fire demon,
Mhm.
the pterodactyl,
Rodan. Yeah.
Rodan was let loose upon Mexico,
Mhm.
and that's when things started to get better.
And it certainly took a jump for the better. bro.
Exactly, it really quick jumps. So all the monsters were let loose.
Mhm.
Godzilla comes through, but then
Mhm.
they nuke him with an anti-oxygen missile, and they think he's dead. Ken Watanabe, of course, sacrifices himself, not unlike his previous movies.
Yeah, he's like the Sean Bean of Asia, right?
Yeah,
I
he's the
think.
guy who takes one for the team.
Like he was that guy in Last Samurai, right?
The Last Samurai.
also
he was the
dies.
emperor, but he took one for
But
the
he
team.
took one for the team. Like, oh, what a guy!
Yeah, and
Yeah.
well, I'm happy that this time around. Well, I was happy during 2014's Godzilla that
Mhm.
he wasn't put in that position, but
Yeah,
this time around he had to take one for the team. And according to Carl, because I was in the comfort room, there was a very like a human moment
yes.
wherein Ken Watanabe like says, "Okay, Gojira, do your thing. I'm giving you my life. So
Yeah.
go out there,
Old
and
buddy,
go
let's
get
do
him,
this.
Tiger."
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, there is. I mean, if you're familiar with the MonsterVerse mythos, there are worshippers from way back
Exactly.
that have been taking care of Godzilla, and they're the first gods. The Titans are the first gods, and the additional premise of this new MonsterVerse is the Monarch Agency,
Yeah.
which is keeping all the monsters in check or at least restrained.
Basically, put him on a leash.
Yeah, put them on a leash, or like I think they're sedated or something. They keep them. They're guardians of these monsters
Somehow,
until
yeah.
Dr. Emma Russell decides to wake them all up and cleanse the planet of humanity's poison.
Yeah, basically super high tech force
man,
fields,
yeah.
whatever. But then
I
it all goes to shit.
It all goes to shit. like all things that scientists do. Like, oh, we didn't think of
Yeah,
that.
we found the cure for cancer, but then they're turning people into zombies.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, Monarch. You don't know if Monarch is the anti-hero in the story, or
Yeah.
but they're there and
There's
they're
a lot of gray in
responsible
it,
for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
And but then one thing I do really enjoy. I don't know if
Mhm.
it's the semi redneck in me, but
Mhm.
when the military gets involved, and you see all that firepower.
Oh, yeah. They're joining the fight
Exactly.
with Godzilla.
That was I think that was one of the I don't know it might sound cheesy, but I loved how people rooted behind Godzilla, because growing up I was thinking that Godzilla was the enemy, but then it turns out to be that Godzilla's here to save us, and we got to join the fight.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I love the monster fights, bro. What
the
do you
monster
think?
fights were awesome,
Yeah.
and I loved how it was like using radiation and nuclear.
Yeah,
whatever.
the nuclear breath.
Exactly, and Godzilla's infamous roar. I don't
Mhm.
know. It makes your skin crawl.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like,
it-
it gets you pumped.
By the
I
end of the
think.
movie, you're definitely rooting for Godzilla, which
If
is
you weren't,
which is
first, right?
awesome. Yeah, because the first movie I still wasn't sure, because I was like, hey, you're awesome, but you're fucking destroying our buildings or whatever. But
Can you
this
stop
time
doing
around,
that?
I'm pretty sure that I'm behind this guy. My money's on this guy.
I love this mythos, Joey, because it goes way back to like some of the first efforts of Japan to monetize or like make a commercial version for all the monsters, the kaiju.
The kaiju, yeah.
Like, of course, Pacific Rim was a homage to all those big monster movies. Now we have this one. I really enjoyed Kong. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I kind of like was off and on. Like, I was 50-50 with the first movie. And then Kong was awesome.
Yeah.
Setting up the premise of what is called... They were going about this over and over. The Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Where the monsters are living. And if you wake them up, that's
all
it.
hell breaks loose.
All hell breaks. And all hell did break loose, right? So
I love how I know it was, I don't know if it was a cop out, but I loved how they still managed to put everything centralized in Fenway Park in Boston.
Did you like the that technology that they were using, the Orca technology?
It seemed it wasn't too far out of this earth.
Mhm.
That's one thing I'll give to them. Like they
Let's
were
talk
comparing
about
it
that.
to like sonar, like as stuff you use for whales and dolphins.
Yeah,
and
monsters, or at least the animal kingdom follows an alpha male.
whatnot.
And
Exactly.
one of those elements is the roar or the sound of an alpha male.
Yeah.
I think, right?
The only thing I was sort of hoping for was like I just felt that because they had monsters that ruled the air, they had monsters that ruled the land,
Mhm.
but
Like elements,
I don't know,
like-
I was looking for a sea monster.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
totally.
I guess
like
Godzilla
Kraken
sort of
type.
counts.
Yeah, he
because
sort-
it comes
yeah.
from below.
Yeah,
But I was looking for one of those kind of things. But
Mhm.
I guess the directors of this, they just left it. Oh, there's already Pacific Rim. So
Yeah,
if you
could
want
be.
your
or they couldn't. You couldn't get the franchise, the franchise to cough up a sea
Exactly.
monster, right?
What was the Pacific? It was a hermit crab, right?
It was a hermit crab.
the-
Yeah.
the Pacific Rim
Pacific Rim
monster,
monster. It's like, okay, yeah.
So yeah,
it's
a lot of action. You get your money's worth as far as action.
Totally, as monsters are concerned.
Even if you're a fan of like fighter jets and military,
Yeah, the military stuff.
you get a lot of action there. And I would definitely did not see. I remember we were talking about it.
Mhm.
Ziyang like realizing that
Mhm.
Ghidra, because Ghidra of course was trying to take Godzilla's throne as the
As a
king,
king
of
of
the monsters.
monsters, yes.
But then I did not see it coming when she made the realization that, oh, Ghidra
Mhm.
was from outer space.
Yeah, apparently, if you're not familiar with the MonsterVerse, King Ghidorah is not part of the Earth's natural titans,
Yeah.
naturally occurring titans. So, by extension, they couldn't control him with the Orca technology,
Exactly.
right?
So I love that scene where towards the end, again, this might be a spoiler for those of you
Who are not familiar
who are
with
not
the
familiar
mythos.
with it, but I love the ending scene wherein all the monsters bowed before Godzilla,
Acknowledging him as the alpha.
He is the alpha. He is here to represent the Earth, and
Mhm.
yeah, basically again, starting from Mexico.
Yeah,
the-
it was all like high pumping
it was
action,
an
man.
awesome. It was also awesome movie. I just don't know why I fell asleep during the first part. I guess it just took
It
too long.
took too long, man.
I guess all that anticipation, waiting for it to happen,
Yeah.
just knocked me
It,
out.
it was trying to build all those relationships with the characters, like the estrangement of Dr. Russell and the husband, and how Millie Bobbie Brown, her character was a sort of caught in between that and establishing those motivations, plus the dry comedy between Z Zhang's character and the other doctor's character,
Bradley
the
Whitford
Bradley
and
Whit-
Thomas Middleditch.
yeah, exactly.
Their comedy was good. I think it was
It was
well
funny,
placed.
man.
It was funny.
Yeah.
It was well placed, and
They were bantering.
like, look, if you're going up against all these monsters, there's nothing you can do but just crack a joke. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Laugh at your mortality.
exactly. I mean, it's useless to try and be serious and whatever.
I totally loved the battles. They were totally lavished with care. I think there were things in there that I didn't know, like the color of Ghidorah's crackling flame thing was like
Exactly.
violet in places.
and the almost spellbinding colors of Mothra.
Mothra, yeah.
I mean,
The
just-
female of the monster species,
yeah, just the
apparently.
colors and just the aura that it gave
Mhm.
off. it sort of like told you that, hey, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Like
I'm a naturally occurring monster.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
That's
I'm
why I
not from
felt
outer
so bad
space.
when she bought it. I was like, oh my god,
man,
fuck, that was
yeah.
like my favorite
Yeah.
character.
I mean, you gotta know that she's going to like, die because
She
all
is
these
the queen.
predators, yes, the
Yeah,
queen, and all
she's
these
the queen.
predators are just totally badass, right?
Exactly. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do we give this movie?
I would give it a solid 8, bro.
Really?
Like,
8?
oh, yeah,
That's pretty generous.
Yeah, but I
Uh.
really have problems with some of the motivations of the characters that were just not established. I didn't know some of the characters were going to buy it in that way, and the motivations were like, was that totally necessary? It kind of felt like that moment in Titanic where Rose leaves.
Jack?
Yeah, Jack. Like, isn't there space in that
On that
life
door?
right for that door
On
for
that
another
door.
person?
Yeah.
Did he really have to die? Like, there are
Exactly.
a couple of characters who die because of like unnecessary sacrifice, I think.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was an 8 for me. The monsters, I was there for the monsters. I was there for the battle. It was like a great denouement and a great setup, of course, for Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, which should be more exciting, right?
I know, man. Like big ape versus big lizard. Come on.
Exactly. The only problem I have with Kong versus Godzilla is I don't know who to root for because I love them both.
You gotta love them
Yeah,
both. Right?
like Kong is
Both
like,
good guys.
like he's like one of us, more like one of us,
More like one of
'cause
us.
Almost, he's a
Like
gorilla.
people. Yeah.
Like but Godzilla's just badass. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I would give it probably a 7.5 if I was being generous.
Okay.
Again,
What
um,
didn't you like? Like just the start where it's
yeah, all that fucking drama in the start. I mean, look,
the humans needed something to do, bro.
exactly, I just felt that okay. I feel that maybe the people behind this film they were holding off a bit, just to keep you paying attention, keep you in your seat. They didn't want to go all out, like it's not like some John Wick movie where you go all out from the start, right? But I just felt it
Guns
took
blazing.
I felt it took a little too long.
It kind of did, right?
I
I
mean-
was not invested in the characters at first.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
look, 11, awesome, Stranger Things girl, but come on, she can't be that smart.
She can't be that smart, man.
And the doctors, they don't get
Takes
along.
a girl
Yeah,
to
right.
solve everything, right?
And Zhang Ziyi and Kenwa. Like, if I wanted to see a lot of development, I really wanted to see the development between Ken Watanabe because obviously he was the guy in the know.
Yes.
Zi Zhang and the doctor, Brad Whitford's
Brad Whitford's
character.
doctor. Yeah.
Because obviously they were the guys in the know, and all of the unnecessary drama. You know what, dude? Divorce, the loss of a child, that shit doesn't matter.
Doesn't
when a
matter in
fucking
the-
huge lizard
Yeah.
is trampling through your city. That's stuff that you put aside.
The bigger context of things, like
Exactly.
maybe human life
Yeah.
would be a better thing to save than like one child.
Exactly. But I do agree with you. Like as soon as again when that monster, that fire demon, Rodan, as soon as he came out, it was nonstop, and I loved
Yeah.
every single moment of it. I didn't even have to stand up or
Yeah.
get any popcorn or whatever. I loved it till the
Rodan
end.
had some very inventive moves that I didn't know was possible until now. Like he was swatting jets out of the sky with
Exactly.
this some kind of hurricane maneuver. Like whoa,
Yeah, because again, that extraterrestrial,
King Ghidorah.
Ghidorah
Yeah.
was like, dude, it fucking rides typhoons and shit.
yeah.
It
And the
causes
three heads apparently have some kind of
regenerating
different.
powers,
Yeah.
right?
And they all have different personalities. I think like
yeah,
they
'cause
were
they were fighting with each other.
with
They
each
were
other, like-
bickering.
They're like brothers. Or like so they all have three different brains. I guess.
Exactly. And again, Mothra's allegiance to Godzilla, that was something else.
No, something
I-
else.
I-
She was
I-
like a supporting character.
Exactly. So I thought that was awesome. And again, new personality to an old monster.
Mhm.
Like before, like when I was growing up, I just thought Godzilla was just plain evil and whatever.
Yeah, because it's a big lizard, uglier lizard.
Big lizard. But the thing is, again, I didn't know he was on humanity's side. So
It's a nice concept and it's a nice premise to think that if a fever, planet-wide fever, breaks out and the monsters are the cure, it's a nice development to see them a naturally occurring thing, and we can use them. They're actually on our side if we can live in harmony and balance with them.
yeah, because I think the main gist.
It's a very Japanese concept, bro.
Yeah, the
right?
main gist was coexistence. I
Yes.
think that word was thrown around. a lot.
Ken Watanabe is Dr. Shiziro
Yeah,
character. Yeah.
he threw that word around a lot. I mean, you don't have to be the best of friends And
Serizawa, sorry.
you'll do
Yeah.
some stupid shit to each other, but it's coexistence that matters.
Mhm.
And again,
Don't piss them off.
dude, like Super Saiyan, seeing Super Saiyan Godzilla,
It was
like,
awesome.
really appealed to
Oh
the
my
child
God.
in me.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I saw that, I wanted to run to the nearest toy store and get like a
Yeah.
figure of Godzilla,
Yeah.
because Godzilla's one badass mofo. So
I was kind of complaining. I remember about why did these parents bring all these really young kids, like 3 or 4 years old?
yeah,
But come to think of it, they will have awesome memories of this
Of
movie if
Godzilla,
they
yeah.
really liked it, right?
and I do hope whoever releases I hope they release the line of action figures,
Yeah,
like of
yeah.
the monsters, and I hope they get it right, because it'd be nice to add to the collection.
I would
or
like to get
whatever.
a Ghidorah
yeah
figurine, man.
yeah.
It's badass.
I'd like to see a Mothra like with the lights and
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Oh yeah.
like a
With
glowing,
a glowing-
Mothra.
Oh
That'd
my
be an
God,
awesome
night
look
light.
for a toy.
Yeah.
So yeah, good.
We're kind of biased because we're big fans, right?
Yeah, we're biased all the way. Godzilla's definitely one of the greats.
Yeah.
Not I guess in closing, I'd say that
Mhm.
Godzilla 2 was way better than the first.
Yeah.
As far as expectations, I feel that the expectations were met.
Mm-hmm.
Especially during the fight scenes and
Mhm.
whatnot. Godzilla just wagging one of the severed heads off Ghidorah.
Oh yeah, and eating it.
That
Like,
was-
wow.
It was so human of Godzilla. It was like, it's not just like their nature to kill each other, but Godzilla was really asserting himself as, look,
As the alpha.
look, you
Yeah.
fuckers. nobody
Nobody else
fuck
can
with
do
me.
this. Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty awesome. And again, I'd recommend this movie. Like,
yeah. Same.
if you were to spend money on it, like watch it in a proper theater, I think
Watch
would
it
be a good one.
twice. I think it's
Go
it's
for
not a it's not a problem. Like if you're a real monster movie fan.
Exactly, but just make sure that you're well rested, because the first
yeah.
part will drag.
The first part will
will
drag.
drag on for a bit, but as soon as the action
Character
starts,
development.
it's nonstop. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on Godzilla 2.
Props to the director, Mike Doherty.
And again,
I think he did it a good job.
Oh yeah, he definitely did, and it's got us excited over Godzilla 2020's Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
It's got us really, really excited.
And there's some part of me, the child part of me, that wants to believe all these monsters are real, bro.
yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
maybe humanity should watch out because
Hey, you never
You know,
know. I mean,
never know.
what the fuck? I mean, some
We've been
parts of
fucking
the
up this
ocean,
planet so
some
much.
parts of the jungles, whatever, are still yet
Yeah.
undiscovered and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I mean, thank God they're undiscovered, right?
yeah.
But yeah, a lot. It explains a lot. It gives a lot more story to the character that is
Mhm.
Godzilla. Because before, I had the toys, I had the T-shirts,
Mhm.
but all I knew is he was just some gnarly ass lizard that
Yeah.
that
that's
wrecked the
true.
place.
That's
But
true.
now there's a story behind it.
I think
and
Japan gave him a citizenship, an honorary
I
citizenship.
think so.
Yeah, right. I think I saw that news. Like, okay, that's one of Japan's biggest exports. So
Exactly.
gave him citizenship. Awesome. So yeah, same as me. I give it like solid 8.
Yeah.
Go watch this movie, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, again, before we wrap up the podcast, we like to send out major props to Warner Brothers for
Yes.
inviting us to the
Congratulations.
IMAX advanced screening of Godzilla. Anyway,
In 3D.
in 3D.
Yeah.
And I never got 3D. I think it sucks.
We're just old people. Man.
Yeah.
Like,
I
but
never-
I can see its advantages to the younger generation, where all that stimulation comes in. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
So yeah, thanks for joining us on Kill the Lights. This has been
Thank
another
you.
Kill the Lights episode. We hope you tune in for more episodes. And don't forget to add us on Facebook.
Mhm.
It's facebook.com/Kill the Lights podcast PH. Thanks very much, guys. See you next time.
Bye.